So now we are learning the Dvar Malchut. Here we go. The Dvar Malchut. The Dvar Malchut of today. Let's see, where is this? Here it is.
Rabbi, you're going to shul, or you already went to shul?
I didn't. I'm going. Yes. Here we go. One second. Okay, so we said, what did we talk about? We're talking about here Yaakov and Esav, and how we are supposed to refine the world. And according to the Rebbe, the world has already been fixed up. All the work which Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Jews have been doing for thousands of years has succeeded. And the world is now totally ready for Moshiach. Totally ready. Yaakov is fixed up. Esav is fixed up. The world is ready. It just depends on us. On us to receive Mashiach. That's what the Rebbe said. All we have to do is receive Mashiach. Said the Rebbe, even France has been fixed up. France has been fixed up. France is the letters of Paratsta, spreading out Judaism all over. It's the gematria of 770. Paratsta. It says all of this is stressed now in our generation. And just so that everybody will be clear about this, we're talking about Mashiach. It's such a uncommon topic and seemingly a impractical topic. And a lot of people will say that it's got nothing to do with Judaism. It's not a Jewish topic. What are you talking about, Mashiach? This is the enemy of Judaism. Well, if you look in the Rambam, Maimonides, you'll see that it's totally the opposite. The idea of Mashiach has been hijacked, and it's been, how do you say, like the kidnapped. Oh, it's been kidnapped by the forces of evil in the world. That's what's going on now with the Hamas kidnapping Jews. That's what happened to Mashiach. The idea of Mashiach has been kidnapped to think that it's in the control of someone else. It's not a Jewish thing, right? And so we have to get it out of captivity. That's the whole idea. But what really is Mashiach? Mashiach is going to be a true Jewish leader, and we see how important it is what the Jewish leaders do. A true Jewish leader that's willing to defy the whole world and to transform the whole world and tell the whole world how much God loves them and that God is creating everybody and that everyone has responsibility to the Creator. And when people feel this responsibility, then the world becomes a beautiful world. Like I just finished saying about learning to play the violin. The world is just like this one huge orchestra. And if you know how to play it, according to the proper music, and the proper music is the 7 Noahide commandments, 7 mitzvahs b'nei Noach, then the whole world becomes beautiful. But first of all, the Jewish people have to get together. They have to get their act together so that they're the conductor. That's what they're supposed to be. So the Rebbe said the whole thing is already ready. The music is there. The orchestra is there. They're just waiting for a conductor. And the conductor is supposed to be the Jewish people. And we have to just stand up. The conductor just taps on the thing, and they starts to play, right? All of a sudden, everything starts to be beautiful. So that's what we're waiting for. We're the conductor. And we have to get, and Ferbi says, to show you how prepared the world is, even France is prepared. Now, France is very important with the holiday that's coming up this Friday, this Shabbos, I'm sorry, Yutet Kislev, because that was the big enemy of Chabad. And Chabad said that he's the enemy of the world, and everybody disagreed with the first Rebbe of Chabad. Everybody disagreed. There must have been some of the Hasidic, his friends, that agreed with him, but I don't know. Anyway, the whole Jewish world, especially even the religious Jewish world, they all supported Napoleon. Napoleon was the friend of all mankind. He was going to knock down the church and the power of the church and the emperors and the different governments and there was going to be equality and fraternity and liberty and Napoleon. And that was the spirit of France, was conquering the whole world. And Napoleon was a super genius as far as war went and leading and conduct. He was like the ideal leader of the world. Napoleon. He was just worship. Even the non-Jews, even the non-French people, they respected him tremendously and everything like that. Respected him tremendously. Okay, but anyway, everyone was in favor of him, and the first Rebbe of Chabad was against him. The first Rebbe of Chabad was against him, and that was another battle that the first Rebbe of Chabad fought. And that's not the Battle of Yud Tet Kislev. But suffice it to say that France was the big enemy, to the point that the first Rebbe of Chabad actually supported the Tsar, who was, very oppressive Christianity, and they used to conscript young Jews, young boys into the army, even the age of 5 years old. They would take them into the army and kidnap them and train them and beat them, and if there was the kantonistim, that they should change their religion. The army became this big instrument to try to wean Jews from their Judaism from a young age. It ended up, it didn't work, because the Jews, even the young children, they defied it. They defied. But nevertheless, the Alter Rebbe, he favored the oppressive the Tsarist government over France. And France was very open and totally not oppressive whatsoever. Right? France, that's why France was fighting against Russia to get rid of the kings, get rid of this oppression, get rid of the rulership of the church. And the Alter Rebbe was against France. Why? Because he said France was anti-God. That was the big thing of France. That was the power of France. Anti-God. And like I told you, the big super philosophers, the excuse me, the super existentialist philosophers that were against, any sort of meaning in the world, they were French. The French was the whole spirit of how do you say, atheism. Voltaire and these people had spread out from them. First of all, even though the Yaakov finished all of his work that he had to do, but he had needed, nevertheless, he still needed the Geula. Therefore, Shalach Malachim, therefore he sent these messengers, these angels to Yaakov, to Esav, to let him know that he's already finished. But it didn't really come as far as the world goes. But after all of our work that we've done in the course of all these generations, especially after the revelation of Torah Chassidut on Yud Tet Kislev, that then there began this thing of spreading out the well springs of the Torah, the godliness of the Torah out to the whole world, and it continued by means of our rabbis from generation to generation, until the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, that by means of him was spread out in the whole entire world. So if so, says the Rebbe, all of the things as far as the world goes is already ready. Just like the previous Rebbe already announced that we're ready for the parade to accept Moshiach. All we have to do is shine up our buttons on the uniform, and the fact is we've already done that also. It says, what is it? Nuf putzen. I forget it in Yiddish. Knepelach says we've already shined up the buttons. V'hakol muchan, everything is ready to receive the mission. This it's understood. So somebody has the. I'm muting you, Abba. Nothing personal. Okay. Yeah. From this, it's understood that the continuation of our work that we have to do now, all the time the Mashiach is not actually appeared, which is totally not understandable. We did this yesterday, but we can do it 100 times. Now we're not refining the world anymore. But now everything we have to do is just especially has to be devoted to bring the revelation of the Mashiach actually in the world. The Yeshlomar, we can say that the specialty thing of our generation is in the Haftorah of Vayishlach, that we said this was the Haftorah from Ovadia. It says that the house of Jacob will be fire, and the house of Joseph came from, that will be the flame. And the house of Esav will be like straw. The Yeshua Negev, we already said this, and the south will inherit the south, and they'll overcome the mountain, the mountain of Esav until Tzarfat. And here the Rebbe discussed about Tzarfat, and Beit Yosef said the Rebbe that that's called Yosef Yitzchak, the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe. Tzarfat is the numerical value of 770. Tzarfat is France. Tzarfat, if you add up the numbers, 90 and 200 and 80 and 400, so it comes out to 770. 770, that's the place where the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe made made the center of Chabad, made the center of spreading out Judaism into the whole world. The Rebbe said that's Beit Rabbeinu Shebabavel. That's the holy temple outside of Israel. It talks about in Talmud and Tainis. That's the Shleimus Mispar 7. That's 7 with 700, and then 7 tens, 770. Shleimus the Mispar 7. Like each one is included from 7, from 10, 70, and how each one is included from 100, 700. And both of them together, 700 and 70. The number 10 is the number of Sfirot, so that's completion. Maybe we can say that this is hinting at, this is a indication, Shahabirur, the Medina Tzarfat, of the refinement and the transformation of the country of France, Tzarfat. 770 is a sign of the transformation of France. Nigmar, it's for finished. The Nishlam Birur Olam, the world, the Nivra B'Sheva Yamei, and this is completion of the world when we see that France is learning Chassidut. I remember the year that the Rebbe did this. I don't remember which year it was, to tell you the truth, but I think it was like, man, I have to look and see. Anyway, the Rebbe said, let's take to break the power of France, let's take the French national anthem and we'll use it in a holy song. So in the prayers of Shabbat, there's a prayer which is called Aderet Ve'amunah L'chai Olamim. And the Rebbe said, let's take the French national anthem and we'll sing it to these words. So the Aderet Ve'amunah L'chai Olamim, Mabina V'bracha L'chai Olamim, Agdul V'gvura L'chai Olamim, Adeh V'dibur L'chai Olamim, the Rebbe did the whole song that way. It's all on Aleph base. The next year, all of a sudden, people started coming from France to non-religious Jews. They just came. All of a sudden, they became convinced that they are Jews. They realized that they are, and they came. And there were girls that came from France, and the whole place was filled with. All of a sudden, French people came. At first, they didn't know how to act properly. They didn't know. France all of a sudden turned over, said the Rebbe, and this is already 1991, the Rebbe is speaking, that year, that this refinement of France, that the number 770 was made by means of Lahava, like it says, the flame that was Beit Yosef. Who was Beit Yosef? The previous Lubavitcher Rebbe was Yosef Yitzchak. Ad the Beit Yosef Kapeshuto, simply the bayit, the house that was chosen and that lived in it, the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, the leader of our generation, for the last 10 years of his life in this world. Umisham, from there was drawn out, Mosif Aholach is added on and spread out, Beit Yosef, the house of Yosef Yitzchak, the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, that the number of his house was 770. They have a picture of the previous Rebbe. Someone should have a picture of the previous Rebbe. Okay. Let's see. Maybe we'll find the picture. Let's live on the wild side. Oh, let's see if we can do this here. Picture of the previous Rebbe. Here we go. Yosef. Yeah. I'm still in Hebrew. Okay. Yosef Yitzchak. 1 minute. Son, here we go. Son, all right. Excuse me, 1 minute. Let's see if we can find this. I hope I don't mess this whole thing up here. This is it. Yes. Okay, here we go. Here we got the pictures. You can see it? You can see here's a picture of the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe. There.
Yes.
Yosef,
That was his father?
this is the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, who was the father-in-law of our Rebbe. Our Rebbe. That's the Rebbe. Okay. Just so that everybody knows what we're talking about. That's the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe. Here we go. Let's see. 1 second. 1 minute. 1 minute. Back to this. Yes. Oh, see, that worked. Okay. In a deeper way, we can also say that Tzarfat, the letters of Tzarfat, which is France is called Tzarfat, and that's mentioned in the Haftorah of this week, right? It says it will conquer Tzarfat. It'll spread out until Tzarfat. That's one of the signs that Moshiach is going to come. It says Moshim b'Har Esav, Har Tzion v'Shpore Har Esav. It'll spread out. The awareness of God will spread out even to France. It says in the Haftorah. Look in the Haftorah, you'll see. I put it up. You can see I put up last year's class. You can see in the classes that we put up on the YouTube. So it says Tzarfat is also the letters of Ufaratster, Paratsta, Ufaratsta, spreading out. That was the blessing that God gave to Yaakov, that he was spread out to the Yom HaVakedma, to the west and to the east and to the north and the south. And this is hinted at that Paratsta, that was spreading out of the Mayanot, is even to France, Tzarfat. Paritza Kol HaGedarim, namely that's Paritza means to break through all of the obstacles. But Lorak Ba'ofen Shemitzad Paritza Kol HaGedarim, the Mayanot, Boim, Haim, Gam, Tachton, not just spreading out that Chassidut will reach these places, Shein Tachton Lamata Mimeno, Ella, even more. She'inyan Zeh Gam Mitzad Tachton, that the world itself will spread out the well springs. What does it mean? God is everywhere. God is not just a religious topic that's found in books only by Chabad, only by the Rebbe. God is everywhere. God is creating the whole world. For the world to realize that and to feel that, and to feel that the source of the world and that the responsibility of the world is through the Torah, through God's Torah, and that every molecule and every atom in the world is being created in the merit of that responsibility that we've got. When the world feels that there's a God, and God cares, and God gave his Torah, for the non-Jews, 7 Noahide commandments, but it all comes from the Torah that God gives to Moses. When they feel that, then the world itself will, like we learned about the moon. Remember, we learned about the moon. That's in this. Then the moon itself will shine. The world itself will shine. That's the whole idea of France. Ufaratsta means not just that Chassidut will reach these places, but these places themselves will spread out, will, how do you say it? Illuminate, exude Chassidut, namely the oneness of God. That's Tzarfat at the same levels of Paratsta. That Tzarfat, France itself, will be a source of light to the world, of godliness, Judaism. By means of this, will be Paratsta Alecha Peretz. It says Peretz is the Moshiach. Peretz and Zerach, it says Peretz, that we're going to get to when Yaakov, when Yehuda, he has he gives birth to 2 sons from Tamar, and one of them is called Peretz, and from Peretz comes the Moshiach. Shenega says, Allah haporetz lifanenu. But in our generation, it was of old even more with the Shlusa, that the moon is in its fullness. The Chodesh Kislev in this year. It's known that the first letters of this year, now the Rebbe was talking about in the year, which was Tav Shin Nun Beit. Now we are in the year of Tav Shin Pei Daled. So, but the letters of this year mean almost the same thing as the year of the Rebbe, maybe even more so. Tav Shin Nun Beit is the year that there will be niflaot, wonders in it. Our year, there's no niflaot, but there is plaot. It's the same word. Just take away the nun. And instead of ba, in it, you could say dgulot, great. Or you can even say da, means here. Same thing. Niflaot, da, here in this world. Or dgulot, great. You can make up anything you want to, but it means that there's big miracles are going to happen this year. I mean, we're certainly, the year is not much has been into this year yet. Not Tavshin Nun Daled. We're just a couple of months into the year, huh?
Pay dollar.
So pay Daled. I'm sorry, pay Daled. So we're just a couple of months into the year. So we have time, a lot of time, that the miracles can happen, but they should happen right now. Nevertheless, the year of the Gulot, Bekal Hainu, namely Shashana Atzma, that the year itself and all the things which are in it, they're in a way of niflaot, should be wonder, pele. So he said plaot. Shalamayla mines, above being a miracle. Plaot, lashon rabin. Ba'ad niflaot, nun, plaot. Very interesting. The Rebbe said this is the year there's going to be miracles in everything. That was the year when the Rebbe got paralyzed. He had a stroke and he was paralyzed. So all the Hasidim, they didn't stop for a moment. Nobody doubted that what the Rebbe said was true. And that was when all of the Hasidim said that the Rebbe is the Mashiach. Yechi Adonenu, Morinu v'Rabbeinu, Melech HaMashiach. Everyone sang it. All the Hasidim, all the leaders, and there were the speeches, we have to throw everything away. We don't care what people say, what people think. We have to just have to say the truth. And that's what the truth is. And for a year and a half, everyone in Chabad said, Yechi Adonenu, that the Rebbe is the Mashiach, and that was the certainty. Amazing miracles. That perhaps was the biggest miracle of all, that everyone in Chabad said the Rebbe is the Mashiach. And we see what a big miracle that it was, and that after Gimel Tammuz, all of a sudden people stopped. All of a sudden people stopped and said, no, this is a little bit too much. That the Rebbe could get better from a stroke and even against the doctor's orders, that the Rebbe made bigger miracles than that. But now, not. So the fact is that things have not stopped. The Rebbe did not make a mistake. And the miracles are still continuing, even in a bigger way. The Gulot, bigger miracles. How this is going to be, it's above understanding. That's what miracles are. Miracles are things that happen above understanding. But for sure it's going to happen. There's no doubt about it. The Jewish people suffered through a lot worse tragedies than this. When the first temple was destroyed, the second temple was destroyed especially, right? The Jews have said, that's it. God is finished with us. And that's been 2,000 years. But nevertheless, the Rambam, one of the 13 principles of Judaism is that even though Mashiach delays, we have to believe that he's going to come right now, any moment. The call of Rosh, and the main thing is that in the days going out of Egypt, God will show us big miracles, niflaot, miracles, even regarding the going out of Egypt. When the miracles happen, the days of the Mashiach, then the miracles that happen going out of Egypt will be small in comparison. They'll be normal in comparison. In this year itself, in this year, it's already been the fullness of the month, and the third month, the month of Kislev, Shlemus Gimel Chadashim, the completion of the third month. In other words, the 15th day of Kislev, the middle of the month when the moon was full, was already passed. But Talat Zimne Habe Chazaka, and when it happens 3 times, it's a Chazaka, the 3 months, first 3 months of the year, of this year, of 3 months of miracle year, Tavshin Nun Beis, already 3 months. Now we are in the sign of the Yom HaShlishi and the Chodesh HaShlishi, Matan Torah of Torah Chasidus. That year, Yutet Kislev fell on Tuesday. And you should know that the first time Yutet Kislev, when the Alter Rebbe got out of prison, it was also on Tuesday. This year, it doesn't happen Tuesday. It happens on Shabbos. As Techilas Hagila, the beginning of the revelation of the Torah of Mashiach. Chassidut is called the Torah of Mashiach, the teachings of Mashiach. That's Chassidut, Chabad. And that began when the Alter Rebbe got out of prison. Sha'az, then you and Asuim, then there will be the marriage of God and the Jewish people in a way of Haya or Lavanaka or Chama. then the light of the moon will be the light like the light of the sun. The world itself will shine out godliness. We can connect this in the drusha, the chasuna, with the Maimorim, the speeches that the Rebbe gave at the wedding. Now the Rebbe got married on Yud Daled Kislev. Excuse me. Our Rebbe got married on Yud Daled Kislev. Right? He got married in Yud Daled Kislev, which that was 5 days before Yud Tet Kislev. So we just finished celebrating that. If you look up, I put a small Farbrengens that I made in Hebrew. That was a yeshiva that's right nearby me. That was celebrating the day that when they got married. Marriage is the same thing as the Moshiach. Moshiach is going to be the Shadchan. He's going to marry the creator with the creation, God with the world. That's the idea of Moshiach. And every Jewish marriage, it simulates that unity of the creator, God, with the world. That was in Mount Sinai. In Mount Sinai, God got married to the Jewish people, God and the Jewish people. So when the Rebbe got married, so he got married to the previous Rebbe's daughter. So the previous Rebbe was there. The marriage happened in Warsaw. The Rebbe's parents couldn't come. They were stuck in the Ukraine. That was part of Russia then. You can get out. Couldn't get. So they celebrated hundreds of miles away. But the previous Rebbe, he said a series of speeches of Maimorim. They're printed and with an extra explanation as Drushim, the Torah Chassidus Shaychim Lechatuna. These are relevant to marriage, and in it is stressed very much the connection of the marriage of the Jewish people with God in the days of the Mashiach. That then there will be the main completion of the new Torah from God. Everyone will feel that the Torah comes from God. No one will be able to distort the Torah anymore. And from this will be understood, should be in our days, mamish. You just open up your eyes. Just open up your eyes. Lirot, to see at the Metziut, what is reality. But Paul mamish, hainu, namely, sheyoshvim yachadim kodesh baruch, that right now we are sitting together with God. This is a wedding. God and the Jews are one. The table is already ready for the wedding feast. Suda to Leviathan, the meal, it says that there will be Leviathan and Shorabar. Shorabar, Yain and Meshuma. It says these are mystical things, but they'll actually be physical. It says that there'll be the meat of the fish of the Leviathan and the meat of the great ox, Shorabor, and Yain and Meshumar, and the wine which is preserved since Adam, it says, Shebesiumo Omer Kodesh Baruch Hu, God will say to King David, who is the Malchut Mashiach, you take the cup and bless, and David will say, yes, I will make the blessing on the meal, and it's good and proper that I should bless, because it says, Kos Yeshuot Esa, the cup of salvation I will lift up, Ubashem Hashem Ekra, and I will call the name of God, making the blessing for the meal. Okay, the main thing is the deed. What are we supposed to do? What is actually demanded from us to actually do? But Erev Shabbos, that now we are coming from Shabbat. Like I said, this Farbrengens was given on Tuesday, but for us, the Farbrengens is going to be for Shabbat. When we came from Shabbat, in our case, we came from the 15th, when the moon is full, and comes to Shabbat Kodesh, and Motzi Shabbos, they have Shabbat, and Motzi Shabbat, that God will be Yom Rishon, the first day of the week, when God is number one in his world. That's going to be on the 15th day of Kislev. Okay, the dates and the days of the week here are fitting for 1991. And not for us, but we can still learn the same lesson from them. Nevertheless, we're talking about 3 days in a row that are holy. 15, 16, 17. By us, it was Thursday, Friday, and Shabbos. Really, what is today's date? Just 1 second, 1 minute. Give me my calendar. I have my calendar somewhere here. Everything I need always gets lost. Here it is. Just 1 minute. 1 minute. So we're talking about Tuesday. One Tuesday of this week. That was the 15th. Okay. So we're talking about all these days that are leading up to Yutet Kislev. We should make Farbrengens. You should have to make Farbrengens everywhere, every place, not just Farbrengens in just one big place, but every place, every single place should have a Farbrengen. Every street, every family. Farbrengens means Hasidim getting together and talking about God, talking about Torah, talking about Hasidut, talking about Moshiach. Every single individual place you should have. In addition to the main place where you're going to make Farbrengens, there should be. And not just that one person is going to be speaking and he's going to be the big speaker and everybody else is secondary. No, everyone should take a part, participate, adrava. Even more, that by means of this will be added on in other places as well. And Kina Sofrim Tarba Chachma. Everybody will say, wow, over there they made it for bringing. There was 5 people. We only have 4 people. Let's make tonight, we're going to make 6 people. Until everyone will make in a way of Ikar. Everyone will make gatherings together. It's very important to meet with other people and talk with other people. About good things, of course. But until the main thing is not that we won't have to receive inspiration from other places, because every person themselves will be a source. Everyone themselves will be the main center of spreading out Judaism. You'll be autonomous who you are, right? Everybody's being created, and you're being created in order to improve the world, so you don't have to depend on someone else to inspire you. You will become the inspiration yourself to others. Like it says, when the moon will be complete, not just in a way of receiving, but but it'll be the moon itself will be complete. Not just it'll reflect the light of the sun that it received, but the moon itself will be a source of light, just like the sun. And Kedayin, it is important and it is proper that every single person, Yaroch Yitvadiot, should make Hasidic gatherings. And how good if there will be 3 Hasidic gatherings. And these 3 times it says is what's called the Chazaka. It's like make something that it's going to be certain. With himself, and with the 10 powers of your soul, with the people of your house, with your friends, with your dear ones who are dear to you, etc., in order to stress even more that every single person should be a mashpia. Every single person should give over, should influence others. Like it says, like the moon will be complete. Like it says in the Rishaychas Geula regarding to the future redemption, it says, V'heshiv lev avos al abanim, v'lev banim al avos. Like it says that God will return the hearts of the fathers to the sons, and the hearts of the sons to the fathers. In other words, the pupils will inspire the teachers, and the teachers will inspire the pupils. It's a sentence from the prophet Malachi. Everyone will serve as an inspiration to everyone else. I mean, it's a principle in Pirkei Avot. Who is wise? Someone who learns from everybody. But in order for you to learn from everybody should be a teacher. And this Farbrengen, these Farbrengens, these get-togethers that you should make, should arouse, and you should become aroused. It says ish et reo yazuru, that everyone should help everyone else to add on. And one of the topics should be to increase in the 3 pillars that the world was founded on and that the world is created for: Torah, Avoda, Gemilas Chasadim. Torah is learning the Torah. Avoda means prayer, and Gemilas Chasadim means giving charity. Like the rabbis say in the sentence, Pada b'shalom nafshi. That's a song that's sung on for Yutet Kislev. Pada b'shalom nafshi mikravli. It says that anyone who works at the Torah, makes effort in learning Torah and at giving charity, and who prays with a congregation, God says, I treat him as though he redeemed me and my children from the exile. So to speak, we redeem God from the exile. And even more, not just like you redeemed me and the Jewish people, one person, right? One person, you, one person makes an effort to learn more Torah, to give more charity, and to pray with a minyan, all 3 prayers a day, if you can, then God says, I treat it as though you have redeemed me, as though you have redeemed me and all of my children from exile. And the Rebbe said, not just as though, but Pada'ini, you will redeem me and my children actually from the exile. Simply, what it means, that immediately, take of a miyad mamash, as soon as this speech is finished, and even before we pray mincha, it should be the request of Yaakov, that Yaakov made, in the name and for the sake of, and for as an emissary of every single Jew, leyeshev b'shalva, we should be able to sit in peace. Shekorim b'mincha, we've read b'poel b'giloy, that we should be in peace. What does it mean, be in peace? Not that we should be quiet and do nothing. It means that we should be not bothered by any disturbances. We should have peace from the negative forces inside of us and outside of us. They should leave us alone so that we can be dynamic and do more good in the world. Because already it will be that the non-Jews won't make any trouble for us. And what we say in the end of the prayers after Aleinu, Ach Tzadikim, Yeshvu Ach Tzadikim Ponecha Yeshvu Yeshoim et Ponecha. It says that the tzaddikim will know you, God, and the straight people will sit together with your face. One second. שלוש דקות, רב גורביץ', אני אצלצל לך, אני באמצע שיעור כאן. 3 דקות, אני אצלצל, שלום. Beit HaMikdash HaShlishi, and then we'll make a big Farbrengen of Chanukah and the Beit HaMikdash HaShlishi together with all the Jewish people, even before Chanukah. And in the days of Chanukah, we can make more and more light, and the Geula and Mitis will go from strength to strength, and we will see God in Zion, in Israel. And that's going to happen only because of our feelings, our actions, our deeds, our thoughts for the side of good, and to have influence on others, to learn the ideas of Chassidut, and to manifest them into their day-to-day activities. Now let us learn the Yom Yom. 1 second. Stop to share. Yom Yom. Here we go. Why is this not working? Here we go. What is this? Why doesn't it? Oh, stop.